So here we are, PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds on the PlayStation 4 at last. A year after we had it on the Xbox, and probably 18 months is it since it came out on PC, in the beta form anyway. But finally it's here, and I guess it's time to do a review. The first thing I'd say is the quick review of PUBG on the PlayStation 4 is, if you like shooters, you will love PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds. If you like shooters that are a little bit more thoughtful and a little bit more tactical and strategic, this will be probably your favourite game of all time. However, if you like your shooters maybe a little bit faster and you like lots of respawning, like Call of Duty perhaps, or to a certain extent Battlefield, you might struggle at first. And actually probably everybody will struggle at first with PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds, because it is that battle royale. But these are battle royale games that last 30 to 40 minutes. So the question is though, is the PUBG version that we get on PlayStation 4, is it any good? And yes, it's very, very similar to the Xbox version. At the moment, at the time I'm writing this video, which is 14th of December 2018, I say writing it, I'm doing it off the cuff. What we don't have are any first-person perspective options at the moment. There is a little announcement that says Duo Squads and FPP will be open based on the number of players currently playing. So I guess what they're doing is, hopefully these are dynamic lobbies, so when a certain amount of people in the EU server start playing, the FPP will start to open up. Now I have not seen that yet, so it could be we're stuck with third person perspective all the time in duos and squads. But you can play in first person perspective. In third person you just flick the right button and you're in. So yeah, that's a bit of a pain. The other thing we haven't got yet, a week or so after release, or was it 2 weeks, we haven't got custom games, and we haven't got the event modes, which I thought would be coming pretty quick as well. It's not the end of the world though, because they don't run that well on the Xbox. When you have 40 players in a small circle, the frames per second really suffers. But what we're really interested in is Battle Royale, and I've got to say that I think the PlayStation 4 version that you see here is probably slightly better than the Xbox version. It runs slightly smoother and slightly faster, especially when it's in challenging situations. Now, although I'm running a PlayStation 4 OG, lots of my first videos on the PlayStation were running on the internal hard drive, which I forgot at the time, but it was a 2 GB external internal hard drive that ran significantly faster than the original 500 GB that would have been fitted, so the performance I was getting was better. Also, because I'm going to be spending most of my time playing PUBG on the PlayStation 4 now, creating lots of content for everybody, I've transferred my super duper solid state hard drive from my Xbox One to my PlayStation. So now PUBG is installed on an external solid state hard drive, so it can run faster. And I've done a video, you might have seen it already, where I compare using a hard drive with an external SSD, and the fact that you can hot drop with the SSD into Picado or School, Picado especially, and everything's there by the time you hit the ground. Pop-in hasn't really been that much of a problem on the PlayStation as it was on the Xbox. It is if you hot drop, so if you hot drop Picado, La Bendita, that sort of thing, chances are if you hit the ground and run into a building straight away, some things won't be there. But for my style of play, which is I guess you could charitably call it tactical, maybe if you were being a little bit more realistic you would call it running away. I call it D23E, driving to the third and playing the edge. I didn't experience any pop-in problems at all. Now, if you've played PlayerUnknown'S Battlegrounds already, you'll know what to expect. This is Miramar. This is the big desert map. We're going to be getting Vikendi, the snow map, soon. Hopefully, well, they're saying it's going to be after Christmas, but hopefully they'll put it on the public test server. And if you've got a PlayStation, I would say, buy it and maybe play it as well. The big question is whether you should be playing it on your PlayStation or on your Xbox. It's really where your friends are. So if you have lots of friends who play PUBG on your Xbox, play it on the Xbox. If you have lots of friends that play it on the PlayStation, play it on the PlayStation. If, like me, you make lots of content for YouTube. Not so much Twitch, because you can stream to Twitch from the Xbox easily enough, but the Xbox isn't that friendly to YouTube and doesn't really have any good onboard editing controls. The big advantage of the PlayStation version on the PlayStation is that you've got access to Share Factory, which is a really cool and powerful built-in video editing app, which I use an awful lot, and you can stream straight to YouTube as well, straight to YouTube Gaming, which is good that way. So, you know, just make that decision. You'll like it. It's only £25, and so it's a good game that way. Now, if you're new to PUBG though, and thinking, oh, should I actually buy the game? Let me just put them up. Where am I going? I don't even know where I'm going. I'm chatting away doing this review and I haven't even thought where I'm going. Oh right, well, we're in the circle. I think it should you buy PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? The answer is absolutely 100 completely yes. This is a good version of PUBG. Now I know you might see people playing on the PC versions and you go, oh wow, they look much better, and so of course it looks better on PCs, but on PlayStation it plays very nicely. You get the genuine PUBG feelings, which generally means the PUBG sweats and the PUBG shakes when you get into top 10s. Playing with your friends is incredibly fun. Playing in squads or playing in duos, or if like me, you play. This is quite interesting thing actually. Why do I play alone so much? Mainly because I'm not very good at squads or duos. I think it's because I've played so many solos, learning sort of the feel and the meta of PUBG, that when I come to play duos or squads, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I get confused by all the different people around me, the different footsteps, and the fact that you're not coming across generally one enemy at a time. You're coming across what could be several. There we go. Let's just so yeah, it's a very good game. It plays okay. Now you may well actually be looking at the graphics and thinking, but it doesn't look very good. But trust me, when you're playing the game, I tend to think of this as along the lines of games like Battlefield. Maybe more like Battlefield 3 than Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1, or God forbid Battlefield 5. But that doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. It's a little bit grittier, you know, the textures might be a little bit more basic, but it's the feeling you get when you play. You know, Fortnite may look better, Call of Duty may look a lot better, but look, those maps, you know, probably the Call of Duty map is probably half the size of this first circle. Same with the Fortnite map. You know, the sheer variety you get in PUBG of different locations over the 3 different maps. Maybe not so much the jungle map, but the big ones, Erangel and Miramar. You can be fighting in loads of different locations, and from game to game, you have circles. You could be one time in an open desert, you could be in a big city another time. It really does change a lot, and it makes the game very, very interesting and very varied as well. So much so that you can put, I've just been in this place, haven't I? So much so you can put hundreds and hundreds of hours into this game and still come back for more. In fact, I think I put over 1,000 hours into PUBG on the Xbox, you know, and this is as good a version. What can we look for in the future? Well, the next map will be Vikendi, the snow map, which is, I think it's a little bit bigger than Sandhawk, but not as big as Erangel. And the PC players are saying it's probably the best map. It incorporates lots of the great things from the other maps. You know, because often the thoughts are that Miramar, the map I'm on now, is good, but it's a bit too big. Sandhawk is nice, but the problem with Sandhawk is I find it a little bit too samey. It's all sort of trees and jungle and bushes when you want something else. And so the idea is that Vikendi perhaps will be the sweet spot. But I enjoy playing all all the maps. I think they're all good. They've all got their own sort of strengths and weaknesses, and they all give you a varied game playing experience. So there we go, short and sweet. My review of PUBG on the PlayStation 4. Quite simply, if you're into shooters, just buy it. It really is. It is pretty good, and you will probably put hundreds of hours into it. It runs okay, runs better than the Xbox, and yeah, it's PUBG. Anyway, that's enough from me. I will leave you with the gameplay footage. I have no idea where this game is going to go. Well, I do. Chances are it'll end with me getting killed. Chances of getting a chicken dinner are pretty remote. And if you've got any questions or comments, put them in the boxes down below. Ooh, another 8x scope. You can't put 8x scopes on ARs like I've got here. I need a DMR. Yeah, put any questions down below. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will. I'll see you again soon. Right, let's get on with seeing how we can get on. So, if you're still watching, I might as well talk about D23E as well. My baby, D23E is my the way that I play PUBG on the Xbox and the PlayStation 4, obviously, which we're playing here. And the idea is that you jump far from the plane. So the plane was kind of flying along this way, wasn't it? And so I jumped north and got a vehicle to move away from the flight path, because those early gunfights that you can get involved with can be a little bit difficult, because the frame rate can chug on the PlayStation just like it does on the Xbox. And so those early gunfights are a little bit random. So if you can avoid them, that helps. It also means that you're going to be able to loot in comparative safety. Remember that lots of people will probably have the same idea, so you'll be able to get some nice armour, get a bag, get plenty of equipment. The disadvantage of this method is that some people can find it a little bit boring, and I can understand that, because you don't. You don't really encounter that many enemies for quite a while, and it also isn't great for getting better at shooting. So what you need to remember to do is you still need to hot drop. You still need to go into the training mode and practice shooting things, so that when you do get into the final firefights, you don't get overfaced, and you don't potato it and do it that way. How did I miss that level 2 helmet? What's that there? Also, when you're playing in squads, this technique, this strategy, isn't always the most popular, because, as I say, it is a bit boring and people often want to get into the action. And there is a perfectly valid argument that says, drop hot, shoot a load of people, get all their gear rather than having to pick it up yourself, and then when you die, hey, sod it, just move on to the next game. I've done all these, haven't I? Right, where's my buggy? Parked around here, didn't I? Oh, this looks like an interesting place down there. Let's go and check it out. So let's do here first. He was going past the speed, wasn't he? Interesting. I might have to take some of this 7.6 because we haven't got. So what we could do here, if we take the ump instead of the 16. Kind of solves our 5.56 ammunition problem. Right, 3 smoke grenades is enough for anybody. They really want me to take a mutant, don't they? Now if there was an SKS, I would take an SKS, which is DMR, because I would need that for my... Ooh, do we need another flash hider? Probably not. Do we need another quick draw? We might do if we find a VSS, which is my favourite sniper rifle. I think we've got enough time to do these places. So what I'm looking for now is a 4x or a 6x or a Mini 14 or a VSS. VSS would be the perfect solution. Running out of space, you see. Let's drop one of these smokes. We'll just go sod it and drop the 7.6. 7.6 ammunition is very heavy. But especially on Miramar, you don't definitely need something, but it helps. If you've got a magnified scope, because you're engaging people at longer distances. Okay, so we've solved our 5.56 absolutely problem. Extended mag. Seconds before the blue comes in, and we still haven't got. Well, I've got a scope, but it's only fits on a DMR. Oh, okay, we've got a second red dot. Okay. Right, where's my buggy? Let's head back into the combat. Oh, here's some first person. Now, going off the sheer amount of buildings we've been through, there has to be a magnified scope here. Okay, if we found a VSS, it would now be perfect. Oh, okay. You've given us. Okay. Okay, so you've given us an SKS. Okay, it's fine. In fact, did my ump have a grip on it? Didn't, did it? Okay, so we can put the cheek pad, extended mag, and the 8x scope. Oh, we need to take. Let's drop. So, depending on if we find a VSS or more, seven six in here. In fact, what we want to do, put that suppressor on the VSS, on the SKS. Nine mil, but no VSS. What we've got here? Bit more 5.6 with an M6416, but we've already got one of those. We've got plenty of ammo for that. I can't complain, we've got a good loadout. Do need to go quick though, because this will hurt a little bit. Seconds. What we're looking for now, grip. 10 seconds. Where did I park? Up there, I don't know. Okay, no messing now. That's it, we're committed to a 7.6 weapon. There's a truck in there. Well, that was all a bit nutty at the end, wasn't it? So probably I didn't drive to the best part of the map. I don't think there. There was people all around me. Everybody was trying to shoot at me, and it was all open. So there we go. That's PUBG. There's the PS4 review. It's great fun. Buy it now. It's really cheap. You'll enjoy it, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.